boys, girls, and the rest of you. We're going to be looking at SML Universe, the forgotten predators of the SML community. We won't forget today because we're going to check them out today, okay? Hope y'all enjoy it. You already know what to do. Yeah, let's start.
From trying to look up Elena's skirt at an SML meet and greet to being caught dating age fans.
What?
There are many creeps scattered around the SML community, so today we're gonna look into what happened to the 7 most infamous ones. And there's no better place to start than with EDP445.
The OG predator.
Him and Logan were pretty good friends, so much so to the point where Logan flew EDP and his friend Felipe out to Super Bowl 51. At the time, EDP wasn't financially stable, and even had his own GoFundMe, so Logan saw this and wanted to help out. He was gonna sign him to a 6-month contract to be a part of the crew back in 2017. Logan offered him $5,000 a month to voice act. However, Logan ended up ghosting EDP, not responding to any of his texts or answering any of his calls.
That's good he did that. I mean, usually in a normal situation, it's like, dang, bro. You know, that's kind of messed up. But since EDP is a predator, not even a predator, he a PDF. You know what I'm saying? It's good that he ghosted him and did him dirty like that.
Logan's excuses during this period is that he was, quote, on a cruise. Now, believe it or not, Logan may have made one of the best decisions of his career.
Yeah, that's good he did that.
Fast forward to 2021, EDP was caught texting a and was planning to meet up with her. Fortunately, the wasn't real.
Yeah, I was just here to get a cupcake.
And it was all a sting operation by YouTubers under the name of Predator Poachers. EDP ended up meeting with the YouTubers and thinking it was gonna be the
Bro thought he was about to get in some sweet underage. Nah, buddy. Need to tell me something. Well, I was here, wanted to get a cupcake. Cupcakes have forever been ruined, man. Forever. Every time I think of a cupcake, I'm thinking about what's his name? Brian Moreland. That's tough.
But instead, they ended up catching him, and EDP's insanely dumb excuse is that he was there to, quote, pick up a cupcake.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
Now,
just one singular, like, you know that's cap. Just one little singular cupcake, and then, come on, he too big to just only pick up one. He gonna at least pick up 5 cases of it, bro, if that was the case. But, bruh.
We can all clearly agree that this was a whole bunch of lies. And even the YouTubers that caught him knew, as they had all the nasty stuff that EDP said in his messages for evidence. Now, many of you may be
And I think, what, didn't EDP send a picture of him pooping in the toilet? Bro thought that was some game. That's freaking crazy. Like, you sending an underage girl a pic of your feces in the toilet bowl.
Asking, how would this have affected Logan if he had hired EDP? Well, thankfully, Logan ghosting him worked out, as if Logan did hire EDP, well, let's just say we would have a lot of problems on our hands. Most of you probably assumed that EDP was done after this. Well, I
don't think it would have been a super big problem. Like, he would have found out and then he would just cut him off. So, it wouldn't have been. I mean, like I said, it was good that he ended up, like, ignoring him and ghosting him. Because, you know, he was on some weirdo time.
There wasn't. In 2023, the YouTubers named Gideon and Skeeter Jean caught EDP again while trying to meet up with a and funnily enough, Gideon was wearing a cupcake costume.
That's
well, Brian, I just want to know, why do you think we're here? if you could guess, Brian, why do you think we're here?
Did they drop this?
And to add icing on the cake, just 2 months later, SML came out with a new video called Jeffy Catches a Predator, completely mocking EDP, making him a puppet, and making Joseph think that he was friends with him. And Logan even added the infamous cupcake quote in there.
What are you doing here, bub?
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
Nowadays, though, even though he had his YouTube channel with over 2 million subscribers terminated, while being banned from most of the internet, EDP is still active on very
make money?
Low-key social media account.
How does he make money? Because especially how huge that joint was, when it broke down, literally every single, I feel like even your grandparents that don't know nothing about social media heard or seen about it, bro. How the frick he make money? His digital footprint is one of the worst online. So I don't know how he even still around.
With only a couple hundred followers, mainly Twitter and TikTok. Although he's playing a game of whack-a-mole because whenever they find his accounts, he gets banned. But while EDP is chasing cupcakes,
should be behind bars.
Dude was chasing the Arby's number 2. with a side of lolly. Oh, WH dude, aka the most unemployed SML reactor ever. Where do we even start with him? In case you don't know, WH dude is an SML reviewer slash reactor, if you can even call his reactions that, and let's just say he's not exactly a fan favorite in the community. Even SML themselves took shots at him in one of their videos.
I ain't gonna lie, I like when he talk about when he do like the SML eras. I do be watching that sometime in my free time. I like when he be doing the what it's called, like the documentary type style videos. SML, those be pretty cool. But
calling him a crybaby. They actually used his YouTube profile picture for Cody's channel in SNL movie Cody's Amiibo, and had Cody crying and titled the whole thing "I Cry for Attention," which is a reference to how WH dude squeals for attention in his rant videos.
that's funny.
Now, some of you might not be caught up with the community, and might
I did
be
not know that.
thinking,
That's
what
funny.
did he do to get so much hate? Well, I think the best place to start is with his rants. Well, most SML reviewers at least try to be fair or constructive. This dude would just
Where's me? Where's my clout? Shot my boy Eagle Oris and Super Mario Nick. I freak. What about me? Sorry, nah, it's all good.
go off on Logan, like full-on meltdown mode. Long story short, if you're planning to check out any of these videos, do yourself a favor and turn down the volume first.
I seen this video. It ain't even, yeah, it's just, you know, it's just one of them situations where it's not that serious. Like, I get, like, you have, like, you know, you watching SML and you have a critique, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. When it gets to this type of level and you're getting this upset and frustrated, and I could tell, even though you don't have the cam on, like a blood vessel's about to pop from the vein of your neck, like, that's an issue.
Another reason why people aren't too fond of him is because he literally is the fun police. He would go off on rants in his videos about SML merch, even though that stuff is clearly meant for the younger fans. And sure, the product placement can be a bit much sometimes, but realistically, he's just complaining about nothing. By now, most of you are probably thinking that's it for him. But no, we haven't even scratched the surface yet on some of the more serious things he's done. And some of these things are just really, really weird.
God damn, they got an iceberg?
At the start of this year, another SML YouTuber named Darkray dropped a video titled "The WH Dude Allegations Are Insane." And yeah, he wasn't kidding. In it,
Okay. I think I heard about this. He had made an explanation video about dating some girl that was on Discord. He thought she was 17, but she lied and said she was 12. I don't think 2 years apart is crazy, but at the same time, it's one of the things, if you're gonna online date and date, verify and make sure the person that you're talking to across the screen is actually the age that they say that they are. Especially when it's a long distance relationship, they can lie and just say anything. So you really got to make sure so you don't get caught up in this type situation. We have to get to this lolly thing, bro.
WH Dude allegations are insane. And yeah,
Toadette is very cute in her tennis outfit. Lolly, people who like Lolly, they got a particular look to them, bro. They have a very, how old is Toadette? 15 years old. It's just like, why though? Why retweet that though? When you're over 18, why retweet that?
He wasn't kidding.
That's weird.
In it, he laid out some.
I think I kind of drew Gwen too much, LOL. Anyway, here's more of her fat dunk. Trying a slightly different style now too. You like my butt? Yeah, this is some weird stuff right here, but dog, this is weird. Now, mind you, I'm weird. I am not a normal individual. I am weird. But there's levels to this weirdness. This is freaking, this is crazy. Like, you going out of your way, looking for this type of art and retweeting it with your whole chest out is crazy.
Serious stuff. Claiming that WH Dude had been dating a girl who told him she was 16. And while all this was going on, he was 19 at the time. On top of that, there were a bunch of messages and moments
that he knew her age the entire time, solicited nudes, and masturbated to her in voice calls. Oh my God. I'm not saying people can't online date. That ain't my thing. But, you know, if you want an online date, you find the love of your life online, cool. Even if you want a Discord date and goon in VC. You can goon in VC with your girl, with your e-girl in Discord. You can do that. As long as y'all in the proper age range. I don't care about that. When it's a little itty bitty kid, you know, that's weird. That's disgusting.
That were just super creepy. So after Darkray's video blew up, WH Dude ended up posting a response video. But let's just say it didn't really do him any favors. He basically just denied everything, but didn't show any proof.
Yeah, I
or
forgot
try to
what he
clear things
said.
up in a solid
Like I
way.
said,
Meanwhile,
I seen the
Darkray
video,
came in
but I
with
forgot what he
screenshots and
said.
actual evidence. So you can probably guess who most people believed, especially since WH Dude already had a rough reputation in the SML community. And to make things even worse,
Wait,
the
so you did or
response
didn't?
was barely a minute long. He only talked about one of the accusations and completely ignored the rest, which made him look even more guilty. And this caused the comment section to be total chaos. People were dragging him left and right.
There was also a claim about supposedly masturbating to this person, which obviously isn't true.
You can't say obviously like it's just a crazy concept that people are coming up with you masturbating or sending some nudes to a minor, when the whole point of the freaking discussion is you dating a minor. Like, the people that's watching you are dumb for thinking that you would do that. It's like, nah, they got a probable cause to think that, you know, you're tapped into this weird stuff.
That's the best defense against any
My
allegation. This isn't true, guys. Obviously. Trust me, bro. Dab, dude. This was probably the worst response he could have had. Honestly, I'm not sure if Logan lies more or if WH Dude does. We got real life Mr. Winkle before GTA 6. Probably one of the worst responses to allegations I've ever seen. You should be ashamed, dude. But believe it or not, the allegations don't even stop there.
insane.
Darkray came back with another video claiming WH Dude has been talking to even more cupcakes. At that point, things were seriously piling up. So finally, WH Dude dropped a longer response.
I haven't heard about that.
About 10 minutes this time. But honestly, it was not much better than the first one. Instead of explaining anything, he pretty much just brushed everything off with, obviously, this isn't true. And here's the thing. Sure, he might think it's obviously fake, but to anyone else watching, especially the people who don't know him personally, it's just not that simple. And all we see is one guy with screenshots and receipts, and the other guy saying, nah, I didn't do this, without showing anything. Naturally, people are gonna side with the one who came with proof.
Just your word versus like actual proof and text. It's hard to take somebody's word when you already seem like you have history with stuff like that. So you can't be like, I mean, that's obviously not true. Come on, look at me. You think I would do that? You really think I would send my meat to that minor? Come on, look at me. Obviously, I wouldn't do that. Obviously not. Even though I'm retweeting, you know, Toadette with her skirt up. Obviously, I wouldn't. Come on, bro. Y'all know me. Y'all know me.
That's just kind of how this stuff plays out. Now, you may
Don't
think
clip
we're
that
done
out of
here,
context.
but
Don't do
we're certainly not. WH Dude is not only an unemployed SML critic and PDF file, but he's also a misogynist. In his videos, he has always made his misogyny obvious, and not many people really ever notice it. For example, Dub put together some sort of guide for girls, like
a guide for girls, since I'm sick of answering the same questions.
a list of requirements if they wanted to date him,
What
which
the
is
fuck?
definitely not a weird thing for someone to make.
Bro put this out like he just a freaking top tier guy. Like he just cream of the crop, one of one. I'm not gonna lie, this is weird. No Hose Max is in the building. But at the same time, you talking to a girl and you send her this. This is some weird shit. This is weird. This is very much giving, like, I don't even like using this word because people be overusing it like online, but this is giving some incel shit. I'm not saying you can't have a preference of what you like, but the way that this even looks and like how it comes off like real incelish, bro. You've gotten this far, congrats. Like, you're just standing in front of this high quality male. You have the qualifications to be dating someone of my stature. You are lucky to be dating me. What the frick?
There's some sort of guide for girls, like a list of requirements if they wanted to date him, which is definitely not a weird thing for someone to make. But let's be honest,
This is
though,
weird.
nobody
Very
wants to
weird.
date Dub. Now, what really stood out was the first thing on the list.
Very
He
weird.
says he wouldn't date anyone to 19 or younger, which is pretty ironic, considering that he literally online dated someone who was way under. The main reason on why this is
12.
misogynistic is because Dub is claiming that girls can be controlled by men, as he's making rules for girls that would want to get with him. Nowadays, WH2 is making non-SML related content to stay undercover after the accusations, getting way less views than his SML content ever got.
And I'm not saying you can't have a preference. Nothing's wrong with having a preference. But when you making up a god like this and kind of having it feels and it just give off of, yo, I'm me. I'm just this amazing guy. And if you want to be in a presence and want to be in a relationship with such a top tier individual such as myself, you need to have these qualifications. Otherwise, you are unworthy to date me. It's kind of weird.
May have barely held on to his presence on the internet. Let's take a look at someone who disappeared forever. The SMR was a pretty well-liked SML critic and reviewer in the community. And one day, his whole career went to shambles. On December 23rd, 2023, his Twitter account
I think I seen the message.
hacked.
It was...
The hacker posted his full address, which definitely isn't normal at all. After he got hacked, all of his friends were trying to message him and see what happened, but they got no response. Shortly after this, the inevitable happened. Rumors started circulating of him messaging cupcakes. It wasn't believed by most at first, until the messages actually got leaked.
Wait, hold on.
It wasn't believed by most at first, until the messages...
Not gonna lie, this is crazy to be sending to a minor, to a kid. Now, this wouldn't be an issue if this was like a woman like his age or like around his age in an appropriate age range. And if you want to talk nasty to his girl, ain't nothing wrong with talking nasty to your significant other. When it's a minor, you're talking about how you want her to know how to take a dick in her throat and can't wait to fuck the shit out of her. You know, that's where the problems pop up. And you asking what a minor is wearing, that's obviously a massive, glowing, bright red flag.
Actually got leaked. This
weird.
wasn't good for him at all because he had a pretty good social media presence. So hours later, the SMR deleted all of his social media and completely disappeared from the internet. This left many fans in shock, and everyone eventually started hating him for what he did. Really loved watching him until it came out that he was texting cupcakes. After a while had passed since the allegations, the SMR ended up reaching out to an old friend of his, a fellow YouTuber named Super Mario.
I don't think
Nick.
it's hard not
He
to
gave
talk
Nick
to
a lot of information.
Jaamarius.
He opened up to Nick saying that he was getting doxxed due to his address being leaked. He also sent a paragraph trying to explain that he'd been set up, claiming that all the allegations were just made up by a group of people who apparently hated him for no clear reason. But honestly, that came off as pretty suspicious, especially since there was a lot of evidence.
Be my fuck toy, my cum slut. You're a sissy little virgin boy. That will change soon enough. I don't think it's that hard not to talk to minors. I don't get it. I really don't think it's that hard. Seriously. I don't think it's that hard in the freaking slightest. Like, if you want to, you know what I mean? If you want to put your little, you know, your cock-a-doodle-doo in something, if you want to put your meat stick in something, and then you want it that bad, man, go ahead and get a prostitute. Go ahead and hit up skipthegames.com, put your city in, you know, make sure you got a couple dollars on you, go crazy.
Contradicting what he had said, so most people don't buy it.
What happened was, again, I was on Instagram and then I saw the SMR, not from the SMR's like actual Instagram account, but from his like personal Instagram account. He like messaged me and he said like, hey, it's the SMR, and he wrote me like a paragraph of text basically explaining that he was, you know, framed and whatnot, and that the stuff that he did was, you know, just made up by a bunch of people who hated him. And I don't know if that's entirely true, to be honest.
The situation escalated so much to the point where there's even rumors that the SMR supposedly wanted to off himself. All of this caused the SMR to become one of the main examples that people...
And it's like, why? Most iconic PD. That's good. Why? I mean, if that was true that you got hacked, why'd you run off the web? Why'd you run off the internet?
The SML community would bring up whenever someone got exposed for stuff
if you
like
know
this.
you didn't do nothing.
But while the SMR was perving out to cupcakes, XBS was perving out to Elena Keys, the voice of Rose on SML. XBS is a notorious name in the SML community due to his absolutely outrageous simping for Elena, and he would go to any length to do so. But before we talk about that, I have to tell you about an Instagram account named Drama Plush Studios, aka Mike Van. You're probably wondering, why am I telling you about this guy in the XBS section of the video? Well, that's because he is secretly XBS, and he uses this account to hide his identity and stir up.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if somebody sent this to me, probably like a couple years ago, a year or two ago. Somebody sent this to me, or freaking I got tagged into it, but I came across this page right here. I didn't know that was him, and for some reason he don't like me. I don't know what did I do. I never spoke to him. I don't know, what did I do? It said something about Quaymax was exposed for being sexist. And it was the video of me punching the camera with Rose. And I looked at him like, I'm not sexist, bruh. I'm not. But no, I didn't know that was him that ran it. But I don't know why he don't like me. I'm a great guy. Literally.
Drama. He claims that this Mike Van guy is not XBS, but in this video from Instagram, we can see clear proof that they're the same person. XBS slipped up on the live stream and made it super obvious. And as we can see in this clip, he clearly looks down to turn the camera off on the Mike Van account.
We got you.
But now that we know that these two are the same person, which will be important later,
that makes so much
let's get back to his
sense,
shenanigans
actually.
with Elena. He was known overall to just be really weird and creepy towards Elena online, always leaving comments on her Instagram posts. But what really took the creep meter to 100 is when he went to an SML meet and greet where Elena was there. And
Now there's nothing wrong with, like, you know what I'm saying, Elena is a beautiful woman. That's the actual factual. You know what I'm saying? She is, you know, she look good. There's nothing wrong with, like, dropping comments, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Look good. Doo-doo-doo-doo. If you doing some weird stuff in public, or you're saying online like, yo, I want to do do-do-do-do, when I see her, I'm a do-do-do, that's weird.
during this meet and greet, he got a picture like any normal SML fan would, which just something about this picture is so uncomfortable. Why is bro getting this close to Elena? That's just, bro, like, stop. But after he got his picture, XBS got a bouncy ball from the giant gumball machine, and while he was near Elena, he dropped a ball on the ground, and while picking it up, he tried to look up Elena's skirt. Well, he thought this was a smart move. The SML crew caught on to this and were laughing about it, and this was all on the live stream. But to make his simping even worse, on top of XBS being a total creep, he's even tried to take down this YouTube.
See, that's weird. That's some real predator behavior. Why are you trying to look up another woman's skirt? Instead of you worrying about me supposedly being sexist and you saying that I'm a threat to women, you need to be worrying about and thinking about, why am I going out in public and looking up another grown woman's skirt? Let's ask that question. I'm not the threat. I'm not out in the field for real looking up the skirt and trying to see what type of underpants she got on, what type of panties she got on, so I can go into it later off the thought. I'm not doing that. You're doing that. I'm just saying, you getting at me. Meanwhile, you're the literal problem. We got to put you away, not me. And I seen something on Twitter that was pretty funny. I had ended up, I don't know how I came across this actually, but it was a repost of me punching the camera with Rose, like, you enjoyed the 30 days in jail, Marvin? And the freaking joint said, men scare me. How? It was a whole thread on Twitter mad at me because I punched the camera. Ain't that serious. I ain't gonna put their name in there, but it's like, bruh, y'all, well, first of all, I'm not even freaking sexist. 1, 2, it's puppets. Who cares? I ain't mad at it though. Most of the people down there, it was just, little girls that like Rose. So, and I ain't upset at them. But it's just like, I don't hate women. If I say I'm gonna beat the brakes off of Rose, I'm a curve stomp Rose, it's really not that serious. I'm not about to go out and start curve stomping women. That's free. That's crazy. Like, I feel like that makes so much sense. That would be crazy for me to go out and start putting hands on women. Just a little sidebar to say, like, bro, you worrying about me talking about harming a female puppet on the camera when you are looking up a woman's skirt IRL. We aren't the same. We ain't. Pretty women scare me. So a situation like that would never happen on Skibbity. But it's all good. I don't hate you. I don't got no problem with you.
Channel, because on May 24th at 2:30 a.m., my video about what happened to every one of Logan's ex-girlfriends got a copyright strike, which right away was pretty weird because I've never really had any copyright problems with SML in the past.
Struck it?
So I looked into it, and what would you know? It was claimed by the one and only
How the hell
Mike
he
Van,
strike it?
aka XBS. And if we take a deeper
Now, YouTube got to fix that for real. How the hell can somebody else that had nothing to do with the video strike somebody's freaking content? That's crazy.
look at this. Bro literally claimed me on a random clip of Adriana crashing out at Logan. So obviously this was a false claim, but it makes you wonder, why would he want to claim me? Well, he actually posted an Instagram story.
It's strike because I don't want to be associated with him treating innocent women like this. You were the one that was looking up Elena's skirt. Instead of worrying about me being sexist and worrying about him talking about treating innocent women like that, you're the literal threat. You're the last person I should be talking about about protecting women.
Right before claiming me, and I don't really want to read all this, but basically in this post he accuses me for having AI videos. I don't know what about this channel he possibly thinks is AI. I have a small team of SML fans, and we literally spend hours researching and editing these videos for you guys. But anyways, more importantly, it seems like the only reason he took this down is because he was white knighting over Elena. Like, brother, she's not gonna let you hit. If Elena really had a problem with this video, she could have taken it down herself. Like, it's not that deep.
AK,
so anyways, after this
mind
whole
your
debacle,
business.
I submitted a counterclaim, and then he started crashing out even more on
What this look like is he need to pick up a job. You know, he looked like he about 16, 17. You can go ahead and put a job application for McDonald's and get you a fast food job, apply to be a cashier. You got a lot of time on your hands, bro. Seriously.
Which you guys can pause and read over if you want. But after this, he responded by saying, I don't know how he can get me in court. It's an obviously AI made video. So he legally doesn't even own the rights to it since he didn't make it, which is like the dumbest thing to say because it's not AI. And yeah, sending a false copyright
can't even
claim
strike
to
him
someone
anyway.
under a fake name, even when you're not 18, would not win a case in court. But you know, whatever. But eventually, he contacted YouTube and removed the strike, probably realizing how wrong he was in the whole situation. He must have quickly learned that nobody in the YouTube community likes people who false strike others' work.
Don't freaking call
Copyright
me
strikes
twin.
are a serious deal because if you get 3 strikes, your channel gets deleted. But while XBS might be a total creep and a copyright abuser, nothing XBS did can compare to the amount of stuff that came out about Ray Rants. Ray Rants was another SML YouTuber, kind of in the same lane as the
You know what's crazy? We was before he got exposed, me and Ray was supposed to do a video together. Like, I think it was like a little top 10 video or something like that. Before all that happened. That used to be my guy. But you know, after seeing all this stuff, what I seen, and then how he responded to it too, I can't be a guy because you're literally one of them.
They had similar content, and people often compared the two. Eventually, some allegations came out about Ray. People were claiming that he'd said some really inappropriate stuff to a Dyrowrld cupcake. It was a serious situation.
I don't remember the
but
details, though.
similar to the SMR. He was also liked in the SML community at the time, so a lot of people actually stood up for him. One of those people, yet again, being Super Mario Knit. He pointed out that when the SMR got
Yeah, I like that.
exposed, he immediately deleted his channel, which made him seem like he was guilty. But Ray Rants at the time didn't do that, and some took that as a sign as he wasn't trying to hide anything.
So yeah, so I believe
Until he
that
end up
Ray
leaving
Rance is
again.
innocent,
Well, not
okay?
again, but
that's the side that I'm proving. That's the side
freaking-
I'm supporting.
At the
Yeah.
time, Ray Rants actually messaged Super Mario Knit, saying his defense was that the cupcake was being persistent, and he kept telling her to stop. But clearly, this was a big fat lie, because just a few weeks later,
you know, whether that was a lie or not, it's like, that's not a good excuse. You know, just like with all the Gideon Predator videos, or just the Predator videos I've seen in general. I mean, like, she kept pressuring me. Like, she the one that wanted it. You know, I as an adult, I couldn't say no. So I just, you know, I didn't want to make her mad. You know, I just wanted to de-escalate the situation. I just wanted to warn her and show her what other predators do so it could scare her off. Like,
Ray Rants also deleted his channel, literally pulling an SMR. It was pretty much confirmed that he was guilty, and after that, he disappeared and no one really heard from him again. But the community wasn't about to let this slide. Some people went too far, and there were even cases of doxing. But for the most part, people started collecting receipts, they dug up Discord messages, and put together evidence from people started collecting
say it, I'll suck you.
receipts, they dug up Discord messages, and put together evidence from other platforms, and by then, it was pretty clear he was done for. After that, the SML community's reputation took an even bigger hit.
And it's like, why are you even in a freaking a DM with a minor and she's talking like that, bro? And you're saying that she's pretty. Like I said, before all this had went down, I was freaking with Ray. You know what I'm saying? That was my guy. I freaked with Ray, honestly. Seeing that, you talking about she was persistent. You had no choice but to like talk back with her like that. Send her stuff like this. Come on, bro. Come on.
Things were already rough after that whole SMR mess. And now this? Yeah, it wasn't a good look for anyone. But now, let's talk about the one and only Zeke. And most of you probably already know who he is.
Who?
But for those who don't, Zeke is one of the oldest SML crew members, and mainly voiced Mama Luigi. He joined the crew in 2008, but shortly ended up leaving in 2009 because he had to move to Colorado. But this wasn't the end
what'd
of
he
Zeke
do?
in SML, because in 2017, he came back to film the remake of Toad's Mistake, and supposedly some parts of the Super Mario Logan movie. But after this, Logan never invited him back to film.
I don't know
We got
him.
that out of the way, what we really gotta focus on is how Zeke was a creep in the community. Well, none other than Darkrai himself made a video on him in August of 2024, exposing Zeke for liking Aye-kon. Very similar to WH. Dude, I guess best friends always have something in common. This caused many fans to start hating on Zeke, as before he was completely adored by the community, and most people were shocked that the very
I don't
man
get
who
it,
voiced
like-
most of the OG fans' favorite characters is now doing these absurd things. What hand would Dub have in any of this? Pretty interesting turn, though Zeke didn't strike me as weird at first, but I later went on to learn how absurd
Like,
and
I don't
weird
get
he
that
can
lolly
be.
stuff.
It's a shame that Zeke was a creep. I had fond memories of Mama Luigi from old Super Mario Logan, but Zeke's actions are unacceptable. Another thing
I
about
don't get
Zeke
that.
is his content he would post. He would sometimes post very questionable content, like online dating simulators and anime games that have suggestive characters in the thumbnails. And funny enough, one very interesting thing about Logan is how he has gut senses for when it comes to PDF files. I mean, Logan avoided hiring a PDF file not only once, but twice. Now, Zeke did make a response video to this on his channel, but he started it off by saying that he thought the drawings were supposedly of girls that were of age.
Come on, bro. I don't know nothing about that lolly stuff, but I just look. I look and see they look young.
To his response, I had liked, retweeted, and commented on that art that he showed because I was under the impression it was drawn aged up.
Basically, for the rest of the video, Zeke is apologizing for his actions and saying that he should have never retweeted that and had a private account. However, having a private account still wouldn't make retweeting.
Yeah, like this is, and then too, like with us seeing the channel, at least me seeing the screenshot of the channel of all the stuff of like the anime stuff. Nothing wrong with like dating sims like the Doki Doki. Nothing wrong with that. But like obviously you got some history. You got to know something about it because you've been into it for a while. Like you got to have some type of understanding or some type of knowing.
However, having a private account still wouldn't make retweeting and fantasizing about it good at all. Nowadays, Zeke went pretty inactive on social media due to the incident, but many people in the video comments did show him sympathy, hoping this gray area of controversy will be over sooner than later. Stay strong, Zeke, and have a good one. I made a lot of mistakes in the past too, that I still regret to this day, but I believe that if a person is willing to change and grow, they still deserve a second chance. You're one of the nicest people I've met. You always stay true to your heart and what's on your mind. I believe you and forgive you. Mistakes happen, accidents happen. No one is perfect. It's a part of life. Take care, my friend. However, at the end of the day, all of this made Zeke a creep, and many people
You were retweeting a lot of that. Nothing wrong with bondage, like just in general. If it's of age, you know what I'm saying? Legal, nothing wrong with bondage. But it's like there's a pattern or a history of you liking anime girls. Ain't nothing wrong with liking anime girls, but when it's certain stuff that you retweeting and liking and posting that looks kind of like, I don't know, something should come in your mind before I engage with this. Let me check the age because this look kind of, you know what I mean? It looked kind of crazy.
people in the SML community still don't like him. Some fans may have forgiven Zeke, but the same definitely can't be said about Sean Mays. Sean, also known as
Who's
Sean
this?
Lover or PlayStation Master, was a member of the SML community back in 2017 to 2018. He was known for being an obnoxious fan of GameCube Dude, and he's one of the more obscure creeps on this list. But he's easily probably the worst in this video.
Dang.
It all began back in February of 2018. Sean started making some really inappropriate and unsettling comments towards a cupcake on Twitter. This cupcake was actually a moderator from a Discord server that belonged to Whdude, though that server has since been taken down. And if you think it can't get any worse, he would also sometimes send incredibly disturbing videos to cupcakes, basically telling them what he would do to them. Viewer discretion is advised here, as some of these clips are incredibly disturbing.
Ew.
And as for Steven Blue Toe Plussy,
You look it. Thank you. I'll mention it.
see that?
Is this right getting back to me?
You and me making out, having eat together at night, no parents.
That's crazy. Oh my God, that's crazy. I mean, it was already crazy, but just like the more as it's going on, it's bro.
Now, some of you may be asking, what was the age of the moderator in question? Well, to make matters 10 times worse, the moderator was that many years old, and Sean was 22. After all of this madness went down, Sean hopped on a podcast with Whdude and tried to clear his name, but it just ended up making everything worse for himself.
Ain't nothing to clear.
Plushy, I just want to apologize for harassing you in the past few months. I know you don't like it. Well, it's just that because I was a little bit mad at you for banning me at your server.
I have a question. So, because he banned you from his server,
you decide to harass him because of that?
And you made those comments that what?
After everything that happened, a lot of people started making videos talking about Sean, and eventually he was removed from the SML community. You'd think that would be the end of it, but things actually got more serious in July of 2018. That's when Sean got caught showing his private parts to a 15-year-old YouTuber. Even though he tried to deny it, Zeke and several moderators confirmed what had happened. Not long after, GameCube Dude saw enough and eventually spoke out about it during a live stream.
Yeah, you know what? That's something I can say about Sean Mays. Sean, you said in your videos that you're a fucking pedophile. People have seen it, and you're gonna start calling my friend a pedophile? I have half a mind to dox you, find out who you are so you can't pull this shit anymore.
And a thing with Sean is that he can never learn, because in December of 2018, he got caught talking with a cupcake again. And this time, this cupcake was the ripe age of years old. He would try to defend himself in the comments of the video, but this just...
Nah, just throw him in jail, bro. Pick him up, drop him, straight into the jail. You know how, like, what's the little me plaza where you make your me, you create your me, you pick them up, you can just like throw them whatever. We're gonna pick you up like a me character, and we're gonna drop you into a freaking cell.
Incriminated him even more. Listen, I'm sorry, okay? It's just when I look at her, it reminded me of my ex-girlfriend, or I got in a What? In addition to everything, during 2018, Sean would also do a lot of other very weird things. Some notable examples are that he once peed on a live stream. He also made a completely false story about his mom getting offed, most likely to try to get sympathy from the community. And to make everything worse, he even got on a stream once. But fast forward to the end of December, and Sean disappeared from the internet. Most people thought that this was the end of Sean, but he proceeded to return in December 2020. Just 2 years later, he would make a video announcing his return, but he would leave shortly again after because he ended up showing his private parts to another...
Bro, somebody take his computer, bro. Seriously, take his computer. God damn. He done got naked, showed his meat. Talking about he want to have a sex with a little boy, bro. Take his electronics, bruh.
Cupcake. However, this time, thankfully, it wasn't a real cupcake, and this was actually a sting operation set up by the YouTuber named Corson Drax. Before Sean disappeared for good, he made one final response video trying to clear his name, and basically just denied everything, calling the YouTuber a liar and said that he's a good person.
Corson, you're a liar, you're a snake, and you're a toxic Why? Because you tricked me last night by asking me.
Well, you shouldn't have fell for the bait. You can't be mad at him for tricking you when you saw the kitty bait, the diddy bait, and you munched on the diddy bait. You did that.
Been showing my private parts, and I have to expose you why you did it. Because you're an ugly motherfucker, and I don't care. I don't know why Lucian 50 and Poe Pieces are friends with you, but I have to address this. I hope everybody can clear my name, that I'm a good person.
We're not clearing nothing.
A good man, and I have a chain man with some big muscles.
Now, honestly, I'm not surprised at all if you cringed at this, but he was very clearly lying and had no remorse at all for his actions. Many people in the SML community hate Sean,
Why
and
does he
also
have
cringe
a
from all
phone?
of his nasty actions. The SMR was an absolutely horrible person. No one would deny
Somebody
that.
take
But
his
the thing
phone.
Sean did was, geez, people who like him make me lose my hope for humanity. Every word that comes out of Sean's mouth just makes me want to puke my guts out from cringe alone. These are definitely a crazy amount of creeps and weirdos in the community, but let's
Hell
hope
yeah.
there's not more. And if you guys want to watch an SML channel that's not gonna be a PDF file, you should subscribe to me. I mean, there's not a whole lot of other options, is there? Everyone else who made videos talking about SML was not locked in and was trying to get a cupcake.
The forgotten predators of the SML community. Holy moly. You know, I don't think it's that hard if a minor message you. I don't think it's that hard to not talk sexually with that minor. I think that's pretty easy. And then you're talking about like, yo, you know, she was pressuring me. You know, she reminded me of my ex. Like, come on, bro. You are weird. And that lolly stuff, I say that 1,000 times. That lolly stuff is weird. She looks 13, but she's some sort of freaking succubus that's 1,300 years old. No, it's weird. Anyway, hope you have a good day. I will catch you guys later. All right.